Okay, all of you. So we have question number 52. In the F2 progeny of a dihybrid cross, there are 66 individuals with dwarf height and red color of the flower. How many individuals are expected to be with the red color of the flower? Very nice question. I had asked you this in the DCT. Check this here. Sir, in a dihybrid cross, what is the phenotypic ratio? 9:3:3:1. We can write it as 9x:3x:3x:x, and that is equal to 60x. 16x. Now the question asked is, in a dihybrid cross F2 progeny, 66 individuals are with dwarf height and red color. 66 individuals are with dwarf height and red color. What are 9? Tall and red. What are 3x? 9x is tall and red. What is 3x? Dwarf and red. What is 3x? Tall and white. White color. What is x? Dwarf and white flower. So sir, data given is there are 66 dwarf and red. So 3x is dwarf and red equal to 66. 3x is 66. So how much will be x? X will be 22. X will be 22. And question asked is, how many plants, how many individuals are expected to be with the red color of the flower? 9x is tall and red. 3x is tall and white. So tall are 9 and 3. So 9x plus 3x, in other words, 12x are tall. So how much will that be, sir? 12 into 22, which means a total of 264 plants will be tall. How many will be tall? 264. If they had asked you how many will be dwarf, then that would be 3x plus x. In other words, 4x. So that would be 4 into 22, 88 would have been dwarf. So how many would have been tall? 264. How many with red color? 264. How many dwarf? 88. How many with white color? 88. Beautiful question. Mark this important. 53. To determine heterozygosity or homozygosity, a plant must be crossed with the recessive parent, which is called as a test cross. 54. In a dihybrid ratio, 1/16 of the individuals show both dominant character? No, that is 9. One dominant and one recessive character? No, that is 8. Both recessive character? Yes, that is 1. So 1 out of 16 will show both recessive character, small y, small r, in other words, double recessive. 55. When F1 individual is crossed with a recessive parent, it is called as a test cross, which is also called as a back cross. Every test cross is automatically a back cross. So when F1 is crossed with recessive parent, it is both a test cross and a back cross. 56. Red eye male is crossed with a white eye female, and then a red eye female is crossed with a white eye male. It is an example of a reciprocal cross. First red eye male and white eye female, and we get F1 generation. Then we change the sexes, red eye female and white eye male, and we get F1 generation. So sir, what is that kind of a cross called as? A changing of sexes is called as a reciprocal cross. 57. In the Mendelian monohybrid cross, what is the ratio of homozygous to heterozygous in the F2 generation? Well, we had just talked about it. What is the ratio of homozygous to heterozygous in the F2 generation? Sir, this plant is homozygous capital D, homozygous small t small t. So two plants are homozygous and capital T small t, two plants are heterozygous. So the ratio of homozygous 2 is to heterozygous 2 is the ratio of 2 is to 2. In other words, 1 is to 1. Then 58, 4 offsprings are obtained by crossing capital A, capital B into capital A, capital B, small b. How many of these offsprings will be dihybrid in nature? Now for that we have to make the cross. So sir, what will be the cross? Capital A, capital B into capital A, capital B, small b. तो इसमें से कौन से गैमीज बनेंगे? कैपिटल A, कैपिटल B. एंड कौन सा वाला दूसरा गैमीज बनेगा? स्मॉल a, कैपिटल B. एंड इसमें से कौन से गैमीज बनेंगे? कैपिटल A, कैपिटल B and capital A, small b. So now, what will be this cross here? Capital A, capital B, capital B. What will be this over here? Capital A, capital B, small b. What will be this over here? Capital A, capital B. And what will be this one over here? Capital A, capital B, small b. So the question asked is, how many of the offspring will be dihybrid in nature? So one offspring out of 4 will be dihybrid in nature. 1 out of 4 will be dihybrid in nature. Then 59, the parent plant with tall height and pink color is crossed with tall height and red flower. What will be the ratio of red flower to pink flower? तो यहाँ पर भी क्वेश्चन में they have asked tall pink and tall red, but in the required they have asked red is to pink. So this is not a dihybrid cross, this is a monohybrid cross. So sir, what will be pink over here? Capital R, small r. And what will be red color? Capital R, capital R. So capital R, small r, capital R. What will be the ratio of red flower to pink flower? Sir, red to pink का रेशियो कितना है? इसमें से कौन से गैमीज बनेंगे? कैपिटल R, और इसमें से कौन से गैमीज बनेंगे? कैपिटल R, स्मॉल r. So what will this become? Capital R, red. What will this become? Capital R, small r, pink. What will this become? Capital R, red. What will this become? Capital R, small r, pink. So 2 reds is to 2 pinks. 2 reds is to 2 pinks. So what is the ratio of red and pink? 2 is to 2. In other words, 1 is to 1. So nice question. ये भी याद रखना. 60th, the polar grains of a tall plant with red flowers are transferred to the stigma of a dwarf plant with white flowers. The seeds obtained are germinated. What is the appearance of the female parent? Appearance of female parent यानी कौन सा parent है? इसमें कुछ है नहीं सॉल्व करने को. Female parent is the one with the stigma. So pollen grain of tall plant with red flower is the male plant, and stigma of dwarf plant with white flower is the female plant. So what is the appearance of female plant? Dwarf with white flower. And that's the word stigma that you see there. 61, in a checkerboard of usual dihybrid test cross, 50% individuals are homozygous for one character and heterozygous for the other character. In a checkerboard of a usual dihybrid test cross. So sir, we again go into a dihybrid test cross and check that here. समझो capital T, capital R, small r into small t, small r. What are the gametes? Capital T, capital R, and then we have capital T, small r, and we have small t, capital R, and we have small t, small r. And यहाँ पर कौन से gametes बनेंगे? Small t, small r, small t, small r, small t, small r, and small t, small r. So now the question asked is, कि sir, what will be 50% of the individuals are in a dihybrid test cross? Check this here. This is capital T, small t, capital R, small r, and same here. And this will be capital T, small r, and same here. This will be small t, capital R, small r, and same here. And this will be small t, small r, and same here. Now the question asked is 50% individuals are what? 25% are double heterozygous. 25% are double homozygous. And 50% of individuals are single homozygous, single heterozygous, single homozygous, single heterozygous. So what are 50% of individuals? 50% of individuals are single homozygous for one character and heterozygous for the other character. Homozygous for one character and heterozygous for the other character. 62. A curly hair woman marries a curly hair man. They get a straight hair child. Her husband dies and she got remarried to a straight hair man. What is the possibility of straight hair children from this marriage? Curly hair woman marries a curly hair man and they got a straight hair child. Curly hair is a dominant character. So curly hair woman and curly hair man marry and they get a straight hair child. So child is small c, which has got straight hair. So both husband and father are curly, but they are heterozygous. Because both are heterozygous, they are curly with capital C. But child will get small c, will have a straight hair. And question asked is, her husband dies, she got remarried with a straight hair man. So capital C, small c, she got married with a small c. So capital C, small c into small c. What is this an example of? This is an example of a test cross. So what is the possibility of straight hair children from this marriage? From this marriage, straight hair children will be capital C, small c will be curly hair, and small c will be straight hair. So 50% will be curly hair, 50% will be straight hair. So what's the answer with possibility of straight hair children? 50%. 63. Consider the usual dihybrid cross and calculate the percentage of individuals with parental phenotypic character in the F2 generation. F2 generation में parental phenotypic character of a dihybrid cross, what will you get, sir? What is the parental combination? Sir, you have 9 yellow round and 1 yellow wrinkled. 9 yellow round, 1 yellow wrinkled. So 10 out of 16 are parental combination. 10 out of 16 are parental combination. What is 10 out of 16 in terms of percentage? So that will be approximately 62%. 62%, 10 out of 16 into 100 is around 62% will be parental phenotypic combination. So 62% is parental phenotypic combination and the remaining are new phenotypic combination. 64. Genes which change their location on chromosomes are called as, answer is jumping genes. ब्यूटिफुल लॉजिक हम लोग एक दिन डिटेल में करेंगे. दो क्रोमोसोम्स के बीच में जीन्स होते हैं. These genes jump from one side to the other. एक साइड से दूसरे साइड ये जीन्स जंप करते हैं and they will exchange their position from chromosome to chromosome and these are called as jumping genes. They were found in maize plant. maize में बहुत सारे variations आते हैं because genes jump from one chromosome to the other and these are called as jumping genes. These are also called as transposons. What are jumping genes also called as? Transposons, and we will do that in detail in one of the coming chapters. Then 65th, in a cross between a tall red, capital T, small t, capital R, and tall red, capital T, small t, capital R, small r, what percentage of individuals will be dwarf heighted and red flower? So what will be the percentage of dwarf heighted red flower? So we'll just do that square. Yeah, the question is capital T, small t, capital R, and crossed it with capital T, small t, capital R, small r, out of which how many of them will be dwarf heighted and red flower? So sir, इसमें से कौन से कैपिटल करेंगे? Capital T, capital R, capital T, small t, capital R, and small t, small r. और इसमें से कौन से कैपिटल बनेंगे? कैपिटल T, कैपिटल R, and capital T, small t, capital R. Capital T, capital R, small t, capital R. So now, capital T, capital T, capital R, capital R, capital T, capital R, small r, capital T, small t, capital R, capital T, small t, capital R, small r, and this will be capital T, small t, capital R, this will be capital T, small t, capital R, small r, this will be small t, capital R, this will be small t, capital R, small r. So here the question is, how many of them are dwarf and red flower? This is dwarf and red, this is dwarf and red. So 2 out of 8 are dwarf and red. These are all tolerate. These are dwarf and red. So 2 out of 8 are dwarf and red. In other words, 25% is dwarf and red. 25% is dwarf and red. Then 66, in the given list of pea plant character, which character is odd? Tall height, dominant. Smooth seeds, dominant. Axillary flower, dominant. But constricted pod, recessive. If you remember, inflated pod is dominant, constricted pod is recessive, so constricted pod is the odd one out. 67. Suppose in a plant variety, tall height is dominant over dwarf, but red color of flower is an incomplete dominant character. Using this variety of a plant, a dihybrid test cross is performed. How many plants would be pink flower if the total number of offsprings obtained are 60? So sir, ये हमने कई बार किया अभी. Sir, in a dihybrid test cross, what will we get in the F2 generation? Tall and dwarf में क्या मिलेगा? Tall. Red and white में क्या मिलेगा आपको? Pink. Because this is incomplete dominance. So now, if it is capital T, small t, capital R, small r, into small t, small r, this is the dihybrid test cross. This is the dihybrid test cross, and we have done it many times. So इसमें से कौन से कैपिटल्स बनेंगे? Capital T, capital R, capital T, small t, capital R, small t, small r, and यहाँ कौन सा कैपिटल बनेगा? Here you will get small t, small r. So this will become capital T, small t, capital R, small r. This will become capital T, small r, small r. This will become small t, capital R, small r. This will become small t, small r. So now they have asked what percentage of individual will be having pink flower. Using this variety of dihybrid test crosses form, how many are pink? So this will be tall and pink. This will be tall and white. This will be again dwarf and pink. And this will be dwarf and white. Tall and pink, tall and white, dwarf and pink, dwarf and white. So what is the ratio we get? 4:4:4:4:4. If you remember totally how many plants are formed? 16. So this is 16. 16, and what ratio we get? 4:4:4:4. So 4 are tall and pink, 4 are dwarf and pink, 4 are tall and white, 4 are dwarf and white. So how many are pink here? 8. 4 are tall and pink, 4 are dwarf and pink, 4 are tall and pink, 4 are dwarf and pink. So how many pink plants we got in the F2 generation? 8. Out of 16, how many are pink? 8. Nice question, ye bhi yaad rakhna. Then we have hemolytic jaundice is due to a dominant gene, but only 10% of the people develop this disease. A heterozygous man marries a homozygous normal woman. What proportion of children in the population are expected to have this disorder? Hemolytic jaundice is a dominant gene, but only 10% get the disease. Heterozygous man marries a homozygous normal woman. So say it is determined by, hemolytic jaundice is determined by capital J, and capital J is for jaundice. So capital J, small j. Male is heterozygous, marries a homozygous normal woman. So this is a monohybrid test cross, of which 50% will become capital J, small j, and 50% will become small j, small j. So 50% will become carriers, 50% will become normal, like a monohybrid test cross. And इसमें से 50% को तो small j है, तो इनको तो jaundice होने वाला ही नहीं है. Out of this 50% capital J, small j, only 10% actually develop the disease. So out of 50%, 10% will develop the disease. So 50 upon 10, 5% will develop the disease. So how many people will develop the disease? 5%. How much is that, sir? 1 upon 20. 1 out of 20 individuals, 5% will develop hemolytic jaundice. अच्छा क्वेश्चन है, इसको भी मार्क करना. Mark this important. Then we have, when a true breeding plant, tall plant, is crossed with a true breeding short plant, and F1 is produced in self-pollination to produce F2, the ratio of true breeding tall and true breeding dwarf plant in the F2 generation will be, 1 will be capital T, 2 will be capital T, small t, 1 will be small t, small t. So what is the ratio of capital T to small t, small t? 1:1. So what is the phenotypic ratio we get? 1:2:1. 1 is capital T, 2 are capital T, small t, 1 is small t, small t. So what is the ratio of capital T to small t, small t? 1:1. So pure tall and pure short का phenotypic ratio कितना होगा? Genotypic ratio कितना होगा? 1:1. Then 70, the term back cross refers to, answered, a cross between the F1 hybrid and either of the parents. F1 की जगह please make it F2 hybrid. F1 is always hybrid only. We know that. What is the back cross? We determine F2 generation में whether it is tall or dwarf. We will do a test cross with recessive or a back cross with dominant. So back cross is always either with recessive or dominant. Because the question is asked, what is the term back cross refer to? Then it's a cross between F2 hybrid either with the dominant or with the recessive. If it was asked, what is a test cross? Then the F2 only with the recessive parent. So only with recessive parent is a test cross, with either recessive or dominant parent is a back cross. 71. Plants of F1 generation show what is tall and dwarf produced in the F1 generation? Tall. So what does it prove? Law of dominance. Law of dominance. 72. Dominant gene for tallness is capital T and yellow color is capital Y. A plant heterozygous for both traits is cell then the ratio of pure homozygous tall and green offspring would be, again, the plant is heterozygous for both. So capital T, small t, capital Y, small y, tall and yellow. And plant heterozygous for both the cells, ratio of pure, tall and green offspring. In other words, capital T, small y, small y. So what will this become? Capital T, capital Y, capital Y. What will this become? Capital T, small y, small y. What will this become? Small t, capital Y. What will this become? Small t, small y, small y. So how many plants are tall and are pure breed tall and green offspring? 1 out of 16. 1 out of 16 are having the pure homozygous tall and green offspring. So how many, sir? 1 out of 16. Then 73. A purple flowered plant is crossed with a yellow flowered plant of the same species. The F1 plants are all yellow flowered. If a yellow flowered F1 plant is cross-pollinated with a purple flowered plant, what percentage of offsprings will have with purple flower? Yellow flowered plant, F1 plant. Yellow flowered F1 plant is capital Y, small y, and it is crossed with a purple colored plant. So in other words, what is this again? Capital Y, small y into small y, small y. It is a monohybrid test cross. So what percentage of offsprings will have purple flowers? 50%. What percentage will have yellow flower? 50%. इसका क्या आएगा? 50% will be capital Y, small y. 50% will be small y, small y. So how many are purple colored? 50%. How many are yellow colored? 50%. And 74. In a dihybrid cross, yellow is dominant over green and round seed is dominant over wrinkled. They were crossed and a typical Mendelian ratio 9:3:3:1 was obtained. There were 1,600 members of the progeny. How many of them are likely to be wrinkled? Sir, how many are likely to be wrinkled? Sir, we have 3 yellow wrinkled and 1 green wrinkled. So how many are wrinkled? 4 out of 16. 4 out of 16 are wrinkled. 3 yellow wrinkled, 1 green wrinkled. So wrinkled कितने हैं? 4 out of 16. So out of 1600, how many will be wrinkled? 400. 4 out of 16. So 1600 में से कितने wrinkled हो गए? 400. Nice question. ये भी याद रखना. And 75. To determine heterozygosity or homozygosity, a plant must be crossed with the recessive parent, which is called as a test cross. 76. Which of the following laws has no exception? Law of segregation of characters and purity of gametes. In other words, Mendel's second law has no exception. 77. Mendel was born in 1822. 78. Sweet pea plant is naturally self-pollinated, artificially cross-pollinated, and because it is self-pollinating, it shows homogamy, that is both the androecium and gynoecium mature at the same time. So answer all the above. Sweet pea plant is all the above. 79. While Mendel succeeded, whereas his predecessors had failed, because Mendel selected only one pair of contrasting characters at one time. Many of his predecessors studied different crosses, but they took 2, 3, 4 characters and they got confused. But Mendel selected only tall dwarf, got tallness in F1 generation, law of dominance, got reappearance of dwarfness in F2 generation, law of segregation, purity of gametes. So because he selected only one character at one time, he was able to get correct expression, and that is the reason Mendel was successful, because he selected only one character at one time. Then question 80. the character allele which expresses itself only in the homozygous condition is called as the recessive. Capital T will express, capital T, small t will express to form tall, and only small t will express to form dwarf. So only homozygous condition में कौन सा character आएगा? Recessive character. Dwarf will come only in homozygous, tall will come in both homozygous and heterozygous. And we take a small little break over here and we'll go into the next question very soon after this. So we'll just take a small break here